everyone, this is Anna from Koala Soap, and today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our light bulb remnants that when we made that light bulb soap. I believe it was our last issue. And then we also have these little balls from one of our prior soaps. We have it in red and green. So what I would like to do is get those together so we don't waste any of it. I'm going to take some shea butter and some clear melt and pour. We're going to do the same colors here, and then we're just going to go ahead, mix it up, and put it in our mold. So we'll go ahead and get these heated and get started. Okay, so we have all of our soaps melted down. These were all glycerin, and they are already flavored with peppermint, so we're not going to change the scent because we really don't want to put different scents in. So even though this is melted, I'm going to go ahead and put this gold in here. And we're going to most likely have to reheat it just so that we can use the soap. So we're going to put these in here. Since they were all glycerin, we're going to put them back into the glycerin. And put those aside. Then I'm going to go ahead and remelt this, and then I'll see if I have to add any more colorant to it. Okay, so we have everything melted down. I don't think we're going to need to add any more colorant to our clear melt and pour. We will be adding colorant to this. This is our shea butter melt and pour, and the temperature right now is between 169 and 175. So it's too hot for us to put the fragrance oil in right now because it'll just burn off at this here. I like to put my fragrance oil in it between 140 and 150. And like I said, we're going to be using the peppermint. In the meantime, what we're going to do, since this is really warm, we're going to go ahead and mix our micas because that will go ahead and bring it down a few degrees. So we'll pour a little bit of alcohol into each of these. And these are just bath bomb molds that I'm using here. We're going to be using a little bit of Stardust mica. I have my glitter over here, and hopefully I'll remember to use it. I've been pretty good lately, I think. So we're going to put a little bit of teal green here and red strawberry in the other one. I'm actually almost out of red strawberry because we've been using it so much lately. And the red strawberry, when I put it into the shea butter, because the shea butter is a white base, it's going to look a little pink, I'm afraid. I'm not going to use very much of it, of the shea butter in this design, of the red strawberry. So we're just going to, if we need to add a little bit more, we will. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour teal green in and squirt with alcohol so we can get all the mica. Now just this alone will go ahead and cool down our shea butter several degrees. And it is already developing a skin. So this green is actually okay. So this is actually a good green. It's a little bit different than our glycerin, but it's just enough for the accent. And here goes our red strawberry. I have a feeling I might have to add a little bit more to it. We'll see how it works. And as you know, our opaques always take a little bit longer to set and get cooler, which matters for this particular design. So we're at 157. And this one is at 140, so I feel confident adding in the fragrance now. I should see what these are at. 164. 159. And 165. So really, this was the only one that was okay to add the fragrance to right now. In the meantime, until these cool down, I'm using a little bit over 1.5 pounds of soap in my total recipe. We know that we can add approximately 5 cc's or 5 mLs per pound. So I'm going to roughly use about 7 mLs. Each pipette is 3 mLs. Sometimes you aren't really able to draw up all 3, so I'm just going to be using 1 in each because I'm sure I burned off some of the fragrance in these. And then in my final shea butter that I'm going to be putting into this mold, I'm going to be putting 2 mLs into the shea butter because I'm anticipating doing 2 ounces into it. I could be wrong, but that's what we're shooting for anyway. So let's see what we're at here. $156, $154, $147, $151, $137. So we'll go ahead and put in our fragrance. We're going to put 1 ml into the green, which will cool it down a lot. What I'm going to do, since that one's my first one to cool down, so I'm going to mix it in. I'm going to go ahead and start pouring a little bit here. We don't want to use all of it. We don't care if a skin develops. The next thing we're going to do is see if we can get any of these between. I'll even go for 153 to start adding. This one's got a pretty good skin going on. 147, 153, 156, 146. So our opaques are actually cooling down a little faster, so let's go ahead and get another ml into here, mix it in. We need this to develop a skin before we can pour on top of it. And what I'm going to be doing this time, usually what I do is I'll do a layer, 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 layer. I'm actually going to do short layers and then add on top of it. It's got a good skin. So I guess what we could do, let's just try it. If you're not sure if it's going to melt through, what you could do is you just pour on the end and then slowly get some on top of there. And as you can see, it's not breaking through, which is what we want. Okay, so at this point I'm going to cut out, turn on the music, and we'll do a slow pour because this is going to take a while. guys, so here we are. This has got to be the messiest soap I think I've ever made, but it was fun. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna kind of mold this into a ball, wash my gloves off, wash my measuring cups up. They are really good, especially when you're trying to pour in a certain spot. I don't know that it really mattered in this soap, but I'm really glad I got these. I now have graduated. I now have, I think, 6 of these spouted measuring cups. So I changed out from my regular ones a while ago. I still make frosting and stuff in the other ones if I don't have one of these left. So I would definitely look into getting some or asking for some for Christmas. Okay, I'm gonna move all this over here because I need to put this mold in here. Now, I try not to do any waste, so what I've done is I've measured this mold empty, which is about 8.3 ounces. So I'm gonna measure it once I get all of this in, and I may not be able to use all of this. This is our Mod Podge soap. I really like the gold though, so I'm trying to figure out how do I want to do this. I was going to put white shea butter in there, but I'm wondering if I want to do that. I guess I do. I guess I do. Well, we'll see how it comes out. It did set up on me a little quickly though, so I just didn't want to have to keep warming it and getting it down to the right temperature. So I thought, you know what, let's just try to do it where we have a ton of skin and we're still just going to break it up anyway, so we'll just try that. So what I'm going to do is I'll weigh this, and I believe this mold, the rigid mold, I think it's about between 20 and 22 ounces. So I'm going to go ahead and weigh this with the soap in it and minus the 8.3 ounces that it weighs, and then that's how much shea butter I'm going to attempt to melt and see if I can get it to work. So I will be back. Okay, so this measured a little bit over 12 ounces. I did take the 8.3 ounces out, the weight of the mold itself. So that left us, this is about 20 to 21 ounces. I needed about 8 ounces, which to me seems like a lot because we have this pretty full. But what I'm not taking into account is that this isn't a full block. There's a lot of air in between it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and melt this down. The one thing I didn't realize, oops, forgot to take care of this, is that I need to pour this hot. So I really can't put my fragrance in there. I think there's going to be enough in here, so we'll be fine. Because I want to pour this really, really warm. I want to pour it around 170, 180 if possible, because I want it to blend in. So let's go ahead and get this warmed up, and we're just gonna pour it in and see how it goes. Okay, we are back. So we have our shea butter melted in. I'm putting gloves on because I have to touch the soap right now. You can use a skewer or a chopstick here. I think you might want to use a chopstick because it's just a larger diameter hole here. And you just want to poke some holes in various places. You want to make sure that the shea butter gets all the way down there. Make sure you're generous with your holes there. Okay, let's see where we're at right now. 165, so I want it a little bit warmer than that. I'll be back to pour. Okay. Only put it in for about 10 seconds. So we're at 172. I'll take that. I'll take that. So we're going to go ahead, grab our alcohol, squirt it down generously, and start pouring. And we'll see if we have enough. We may have to add more. And this is the new mold. People were asking why I'm not using the pink mold. It's because it was bowing. And you can stabilize. If you have those pink molds, just use, yeah, I do have to use more. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oops, there's a little chunk of white in there I have to grab. You can use books to stabilize it so it doesn't bow. Come here. But I prefer just this so I don't have to worry about it. So this is almost there. We're gonna just grab a little bit more. So we were right, we knew how to do it. We just didn't. Let me go get some more shea butter. Okay, we're back. Let's see what we're at here. 170. All right, I don't want to wait too long because I want it to be able to bust through and melt into the other soap. So that's why I'm going a little fast on this one. And still you want to manipulate it. You want to make sure you get that soap in between. You don't want to pack this down so tight that this shea butter can't get in between. And then you want to make sure that this mold retains its shape, like it goes right back to where it was. I don't think it would be possible in this mold because it's a nice rigid mold. It works wonderfully for these small tester soaps. But just make sure. Now this will be an interesting, I'm going to call this one Mod Podge, guys. Basically, I wanted to recycle the soaps that I had not used, yet I still have left over. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to let that set up for a little bit. I am going to try to remember to put some of my Bio Glitter in. Let me see how hot this is. I don't know if Bio Glitter is going to dissolve as soon as it hits it. I don't know. 149. So we squirted it with alcohol. My yellow gloves are still wet because I just washed them because we were manipulating all that soap with them. So I'm going to actually use a regular glove. You really don't want to touch any glitter. If you do tumblers or what have you, you don't want to touch any glitter with your hands because you have oils on there. Even if you washed them, you just don't want to touch it because it can kind of just, you know, make it a little yucky there. Or not, but, you know. Just use a glove with your glitters. Love your glitters. I love glitter. It drives my husband nuts, but I really do. And I am a little, I don't put too much on. I just want a little bit of a shimmer. But this is I love biodegradable glitter. I really do. On the tumblers, I just use regular glitter. And then I'm going to be making some coasters on my other channel. The link, everything that I'm doing, the links are down below. So I'm actually going to be making some coasters with dried flowers in it for my mother-in-law, a set of 4. And so I'm going to be doing that video shortly after this. But we're going to go ahead and let this sit. I'm going to go ahead and get this into a mold so that we don't have to, you know, get it out of here. And then we'll come back for our cut.